Hey y'all, this is just gonna be like a super quick check-in. I dropped on Monday. I dropped down to 21, and then on next Saturday I'll drop down to 20, and then on Thanksgiving Day, I'm gonna drop to 19. So that's gonna be like a fucking huge milestone because I'll be in the teens. Now, as you can see, I'm feeling all right today. I really, really do. If any of you guys watched yesterday's video, I really think there's something to that. I'll just briefly recap. Apparently, there is some research and science that says during methadone taper or withdrawal, once you get between 27 and 22 milligrams, there is like a disproportionate amount of receptors that now become unprotected. And that is what makes that zone often feel so like terrible for people. That's not to say that things are going to be great from here on out. They won't, and anyone who's done this before knows that things probably won't be better until like 6 months after you're off the medication, because that's when the brain healing starts. And that's, I mean, yeah, we've talked about not sleeping any before. Like, sleep is going to be a big issue. If sleep is an issue now during your taper, guaranteed sleep is going to be a worse issue once you're finally off. I mean, and sleep is just so important. So I feel like that's the demon of this thing. Now, I feel like the one thing I kind of wanted to come out and say today real quick was that I feel like I've been really positive in my last few videos, telling you guys how great everything is, that it's not, it's been a rodeo or something like that. That's not totally true. I'm just letting you guys know it's possible, right? Like, last night I had some pretty bad restless legs. I had some leg cramps that went on for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I wasn't able to take my clonidine because my blood pressure was too low. So I think I've told you guys before that clonidine feels like a miracle drug for me right now. It stops my restless legs. It helps me sleep, especially with the Withdrawal. But there's this caveat that I can only take it if my systolic blood pressure is over 100, and that's like half the time. That's like half the time. So, I've noticed there's some people on here going through other types of opiate withdrawal. We might not all be going through methadone withdrawal. Some of us are trying to get off subs. Some of us are trying to get off oxys, but we all know it's the same thing. It's the same symptoms. And actually, all of these, specifically the ones I mentioned, as opposed to like H or what you would be getting on the street, these are even harder to come off of, because these are all pharmaceuticals. And pharmaceuticals are hard to come off of. I talked about this in one video, I think. Look, pharmaceutical opioids don't just cover your opiate receptors, guys. They cover your catecholin receptors, your dopamine receptors, your serotonin receptors, your norepinephrine receptors, and your mu opioid receptors, and then whatever that other opioid receptor is, because let's not forget we've got a couple of them. It's a lot. So it's like you're coming off, if you're coming off Suboxone, if you're coming off Methadone, if you're coming off oxys, keep in mind, you're not just coming off an opiate. You're coming off of a pharmaceutical opioid, and it's kind of like coming off of an opiate and an antidepressant at the same time. There's gonna be waves and windows. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard people or know anyone, or maybe you yourself have been through benzo withdrawal. I have a long time ago. It is awful. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I think maybe it's even worse than some types of opiate withdrawal. But anyway, with benzo withdrawal, you get waves and windows. Like, you'll wake up one day and feel great, and you'll think, oh, this is fabulous. Like, it's over, it's done with. And then, like, bam, you'll just get smacked in the middle of the head later that night or the next day. And that's such a well-known thing that happens with benzodiazepines that pharmaceutical literature has come up with a name for it, and they call it waves and windows, the waves and windows of withdrawal. I had no idea until recently. Good old ChatGPT. Thanks, Chat. I call mine Frank, by the way, because, you know, he's nice and frank. Thanks, Frank. Frank told me that waves and windows are actually also part of methadone withdrawal and Suboxone withdrawal and oxy withdrawal. It's like they're part of pharmaceutical withdrawal. Guys, how evil are these industries? They're making drugs that are more addictive than the street drugs. And no, don't go back to the street drugs. That is not what I'm saying. No, don't go back to the street drugs. I'm just saying, when you get clean and you get sober, let's be careful about what we choose to put into our bodies after that. We've kind of been brainwashed to think that street drugs are the only ones with these awful side effects and withdrawals, and that is just not the case. That's just not the case. That is not true, and that's coming from somebody who took the minimum dose of Paxil. I think it was like 25 milligrams, and then I took that for about a year, and then when I came off of it, I vomited every day for 3 months straight. So, and my doctor told me that wasn't even possible. She was like, you're on way too low of a dose to be having serotonin discontinuation syndrome. Well, you know, I'm here to tell you that I guess I'm not. These doctors just don't know. They're not schooled enough. They're not educated enough. I've talked about that before. I think I said I was shocked at their education. I meant to say I was shocked at their uneducation. I think that we know our bodies. I think we know what we need most of the time, as long as we're mentally checked in. And I think that it's okay, you know, to make these decisions for ourselves, and we don't have to take every single thing that the doctor shoves down our throat. Just because the doctor wants to prescribe us something, we don't have to take it. Although I changed my minds about those comfort meds for sure, and I'm definitely taking that hydroxyzine and clonidine for a while, and the propranolol too. Anyways, I feel like I've kind of been rambling, but I just wanted to check in. I'm doing good. The real question is going to be how I'm doing in about 2 weeks, since I went back to dropping every 5 days instead of every 7. So I'll keep you guys updated. But for now, happy Wednesday, hump day, camel day. Yeah, we're halfway there, guys. Bye.